7. Essential steps to build a resilient mindset. Resilience is not a trait you're born with. It's a skill you forge through intention, effort, and unwavering commitment. Life doesn't hand you an unbreakable spirit. You build it, brick by brick, through the trials, setbacks, and storms that test your resolve. The ability to bend without breaking, to rise after falling, to keep moving forward when everything feels against you. This is what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. Resilience isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about cultivating a mindset that stays grounded in chaos, adapts to adversity, and grows stronger through challenge. Why do some people emerge from hardship sharper and more capable, while others crumble? The answer lies in their approach to life's inevitable pressures. Resilient individuals don't wait for perfect conditions or rely on luck. They take ownership of their path, reframe obstacles as opportunities, and commit to continuous growth. In this guide, we'll explore 7 essential steps to building a resilient mindset, drawing from timeless principles of mental strength. From mastering self-talk to embracing discomfort, from regulating emotions to maintaining focus, these steps offer a blueprint for anyone ready to transform adversity into fuel for growth. By the end, you'll understand how to cultivate a mindset that doesn't just endure life's challenges, but leverages them to become unstoppable. The essence of resilience. Resilience is the art of navigating life's unpredictability without losing your core. It's not about being impervious to pain or immune to struggle. It's about developing the inner strength to recover, adapt, and keep moving forward. Most people assume resilience is a natural gift, reserved for the lucky few who seem unshaken by life's blows. But the truth is, resilience is built, not bestowed. It's a skill anyone can develop with the right mindset and consistent practice. Life is not a smooth road. It's a series of curveballs, disappointments, and unexpected challenges. The difference between those who thrive and those who falter lies in how they respond to these pressures. Resilient people don't crumble under adversity because they've trained their minds to stay steady. They've learned to see hardship not as a threat, but as a teacher, a chance to grow stronger and wiser. This mindset doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from facing it head-on, choosing to rise each time they're knocked down. Building resilience requires intention. It's not something you stumble into. It's a daily decision to confront reality, take responsibility for your path, and commit to growth. You don't need a perfect past or ideal circumstances to start. All you need is the willingness to show up, especially when it's hard, and the courage to keep going when others would quit. Resilience is forged in the quiet moments of perseverance, the unseen choices to stay the course, and the discipline to keep evolving no matter what life throws your way. The beauty of resilience is its transferability. When you build it in one area, say your career, it spills over into others, like your relationships, health, or personal growth. A resilient mindset becomes a foundation for everything you do, giving you the confidence to face any challenge with clarity and purpose. It's not about being perfect or fearless. It's about being adaptable, grounded, and committed to showing up as your best self, no matter the circumstances. Step 1. Take full ownership of your life. The foundation of a resilient mindset is ownership, accepting full responsibility for your life, from the triumphs to the failures. Without ownership, you're at the mercy of circumstances, feeling like life is happening to you rather than through you. This victim mindset breeds powerlessness, making it impossible to build the strength needed to withstand life's challenges. Resilient people don't waste energy blaming others or resenting their situation. They take control by focusing on what they can influence. Ownership isn't about guilt or shame. It's about empowerment. It means acknowledging that while you can't control everything that happens, you can always control your response. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" resilient individuals ask, "What can I do about this?" This shift in perspective transforms helplessness into action, turning obstacles into opportunities. For example, if you lose a job, ownership means accepting the reality, assessing your options, and taking steps to move forward, whether that's upskilling, networking, or exploring new paths. Most people stay stuck because they cling to narratives of blame or victimhood. They tell themselves, this is just how things are, or if only they would change, I'd be okay. These stories rob them of power, keeping them trapped in cycles of resentment and inaction. Ownership breaks this cycle by putting you back in the driver's seat. It's the decision to stop waiting for life to be fair and start shaping your future, one choice at a time. Practicing ownership requires daily vigilance. Notice when you slip into blame or excuses and consciously redirect your focus to what you can control. Start small. Own your morning routine, your attitude, your effort. If you oversleep, don't blame your alarm. Own the choice to hit snooze and commit to waking up earlier tomorrow. If a colleague frustrates you, don't dwell on their behavior. Own your response and decide how to address it constructively. These small acts of ownership build momentum, reinforcing the belief that you're not powerless. Ownership also means letting go of the need for external validation. Resilient people don't wait for permission or approval to act. They trust their ability to make decisions and learn from the outcomes. This self-reliance is critical in tough times when external support may be scarce. By owning your choices, you build a sense of agency that carries you through uncertainty, making you a force that can't be easily shaken. Over time, ownership becomes a habit. You start to see every challenge as a chance to exercise your power, every setback as an opportunity to choose your response. This mindset shift is profound. It moves you from being a passenger in your life to being the one steering. You stop arguing with reality and start working with it, using your energy to create solutions rather than complaints. This is the bedrock of resilience, giving you the strength to face any storm with confidence and clarity. Step 2. Reframe adversity as opportunity. Adversity is inevitable, but how you perceive it determines whether it breaks you or builds you. Most people see hardship as a setback, a sign that something's gone wrong. They react with fear, frustration, or despair, letting the pain define their experience. Resilient individuals, however, reframe adversity as a classroom, a place to learn, grow, and sharpen their skills. They don't ask, why me? They ask, what's here for me? Reframing isn't about denying pain or forcing positivity. It's about finding the empowering perspective that keeps you moving forward. When faced with a challenge, resilient people pause, breathe, and zoom out. They acknowledge the difficulty, but refuse to let it paralyze them. Instead, they look for the lesson, the opportunity, or the strength the situation demands. For instance, a failed business venture might reveal gaps in your strategy, teaching you how to plan better next time. A personal loss might deepen your empathy, making you a better leader or friend. This mindset transforms adversity from a roadblock into a doorway. Every struggle carries a seed of growth, but you have to be willing to plant it. Resilient people understand that what happens to them matters less than the story they attach to it. Two people can face the same setback. One grows, the other shuts down. The difference lies in perspective. By choosing to see adversity as information rather than defeat, you turn pain into fuel for progress. Consider an athlete recovering from an injury. The setback is painful, but a resilient athlete reframes it as a chance to strengthen other skills, like mental toughness or strategic planning. They study their recovery process, learn about their body, and return to their sport sharper than before. This approach applies to any challenge, whether it's a career setback, a strained relationship, or a financial loss. By asking, what can I learn? You shift from victim to victor, using adversity to build a stronger version of yourself. To practice reframing, train yourself to pause when adversity strikes. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a deep breath and ask, what can this teach me? How can I use this to grow? Write down your answers to stay objective, focusing on actionable insights. For example, if a project fails, list 3 things you learned about planning or execution. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to see challenges as opportunities, reducing fear and increasing your ability to stay grounded. Reframing also builds gratitude for hardship. Resilient people don't enjoy pain, but they value what it reveals. They're grateful for the strength, wisdom, and clarity that come from navigating tough times. This gratitude doesn't erase the struggle, it transforms it, making you less afraid of future challenges. You know you've been through fire before and come out stronger, so you trust your ability to do it again. This confidence is what makes adversity a catalyst for growth, not a barrier. Step 3. Master emotional regulation. Emotions are powerful, but they're not always reliable guides. Without regulation, even the best plans unravel under pressure. Most people are at the mercy of their feelings, up one moment, down the next, reacting impulsively to every high or low. This emotional chaos undermines resilience, leading to rash decisions, burned bridges, and stalled progress. Resilient people, however, have learned to create space between what they feel and what they do, choosing responses that align with their goals. Emotional regulation isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about directing them. It's acknowledging the anger, fear, or sadness without letting it take the wheel. For example, if you're frustrated after a setback, regulation means noticing the emotion, breathing through it, and deciding how to channel it productively, perhaps into renewed focus or a plan to address the issue. This space between stimulus and response is where resilience thrives, allowing you to act with wisdom rather than impulse. Building this skill starts with awareness. When an emotion arises, name it. I'm feeling anxious. This simple act creates distance, helping you observe the feeling rather than becoming it. Then pause for a few seconds. 5 seconds can be enough to shift from reaction to response. Ask, is this emotion useful right now? Sometimes fear sharpens your focus. Sometimes it's just noise. Direct the energy where it serves you, like using frustration to fuel determination or anxiety to prepare more thoroughly. Practices like deep breathing, journaling, or physical movement can help ground you. For instance, taking 10 slow breaths can calm your nervous system, giving you clarity to respond thoughtfully. Journaling allows you to process emotions on paper, reducing their intensity. A brisk walk or workout can channel emotional energy into physical release, clearing your mind. These tools create the internal stability needed to stay centered, even when pressure mounts. Over time, emotional regulation builds trust in yourself. You know you can handle pressure without losing control, making you reliable in any storm. This inner order is what allows resilient people to stay calm when others panic, to think clearly when others spiral. It's not about never feeling. It's about never letting feelings dictate your path. With practice, you become the architect of your emotional climate, turning chaos into clarity and pressure into progress. Emotional regulation also prevents costly mistakes. One impulsive outburst can undo weeks of progress. A harsh word can damage a relationship. A rash decision can derail a project. By pausing to choose your response, you protect your goals and relationships, ensuring your actions align with your values. This discipline is what makes resilient people trustworthy, not just to others, but to themselves. They know they can lead themselves through chaos, and that certainty is the heart of resilience. Step 4. Embrace discomfort as growth. Discomfort is where growth lives, but most people run from it. They see tension, uncertainty, or challenge as signals to stop, mistaking discomfort for danger. This avoidance keeps them stuck, living below their potential. Resilient people, however, understand that discomfort is a teacher, not a threat. They lean into it, knowing that staying in the hard places, whether it's a tough conversation, a grueling workout, or an uncertain moment, is how they expand their capacity. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean seeking pain for its own sake. It means refusing to escape every time things get tough. It's choosing to sit with the tension, hold the weight, and keep going despite the urge to quit. For example, pushing through the last mile of a run when you're exhausted builds not just physical endurance but mental grit. Facing a difficult truth in a relationship, like admitting fault or addressing conflict, strengthens your emotional resilience. Each time you stay in discomfort, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your impulses. Most people quit too soon Because they haven't trained their nervous system to handle pressure. They default to avoidance, blame, or distraction, missing the growth that lies on the other side. Resilient people, however, increase their threshold for discomfort through intentional practice. They take on challenges that stretch them, whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a bold goal, or confronting a personal weakness, because they know that growth happens at the edge of their comfort zone. Consider a student tackling a challenging subject like advanced mathematics. The material is intimidating, and the urge to give up is strong. But by staying with the discomfort, studying longer, seeking help, and practicing through confusion, they not only master the subject, but also build confidence in their ability to tackle hard things. This resilience spills over into other areas, making them more capable of handling life's pressures. To build this skill, start small. Commit to one uncomfortable action each day. It could be speaking up in a meeting, resisting the urge to procrastinate, or having an honest conversation you've been avoiding. Notice how discomfort feels in your body, tightness in your chest, a racing heart, and breathe through it instead of fleeing. Remind yourself that discomfort is temporary, but the strength it builds is lasting. Over time, your tolerance for pressure will grow, and what once felt overwhelming will become manageable. Embracing discomfort also rewires your relationship with pain. Instead of fearing it, you start to see it as a sign of progress. The sore muscles after a workout, the nervousness before a big presentation, the awkwardness of a tough talk. These are all indicators that you're stretching, growing, and becoming more capable. Resilient people don't vilify discomfort. They harness it, using it to forge a stronger, more adaptable version of themselves. Step 5. Strengthen your self-talk. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. If your self-talk is weak, filled with doubt, fear, or self-criticism, you'll struggle to face life's challenges with confidence. Most people are their own worst critics, rehearsing narratives of inadequacy that undermine their resilience. They tell themselves, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never get this right." And these words become self-fulfilling prophecies. Resilient individuals, however, have mastered the art of self-talk, speaking to themselves with strength, clarity, and purpose. They don't wait for external encouragement, they coach themselves through the dark. Self-talk isn't about empty affirmations or denying reality. It's about aligning your thoughts with your potential. When adversity strikes, resilient people interrupt negative patterns with words that reinforce their capability. Instead of, "I can't do this," they say, "I haven't figured it out yet." Instead of, "This is too hard," they say, "I can handle this one step at a time." This language shifts their mindset from defeat to determination, keeping them moving forward. For example, imagine an entrepreneur pitching to investors. The stakes are high, and rejection is a real possibility. If their self-talk is negative, "I'm not polished enough, they'll never invest," they'll enter the room anxious and unsteady. But if they coach themselves with strength, "I've prepared well and I'll give my best," they'll project confidence, increasing their chances of success. This internal dialogue doesn't erase nerves, but it ensures they don't derail the effort. To strengthen your self-talk, start by listening to the voice in your head. When you face a setback, what does it say? Write down the phrases you hear most often, like, "I always mess up," or "I'm too tired for this." Then challenge them. Are they true? Are they helpful? Replace them with empowering alternatives, like, "I'm learning from my mistakes," or "I have the energy to keep going." Practice these new phrases daily, especially during tough moments, until they become your default. Self-talk is most powerful in solitude, when no one else is there to lift you up. Resilient people have learned to be their own cheerleader, speaking words that anchor them in truth. This might be as simple as saying, "I've been here before and I got through it," or "One step at a time, I've got this." These quiet affirmations build a mental fortress, shielding you from doubt and keeping you focused on your path. Over time, strong self-talk creates a feedback loop. The more you speak strength, the more you believe it, and the more you act on it. This belief fuels action, which generates results, reinforcing your confidence. It's not about pretending you're fearless, it's about refusing to let fear write your story. Resilient self-talk is calm, steady, and rooted in commitment, giving you the anchor you need to weather any storm. Step 6. Cultivate intentional focus. Focus is the engine of resilience. Where you direct your attention determines the direction of your life. Most people are scattered, chasing distractions or juggling too many priorities, which dilutes their energy and stalls their progress. They say yes to every opportunity, multitask their way through tasks, and wonder why they feel overwhelmed and unaccomplished. Resilient individuals, however, are deliberate about their focus. They know what matters, what doesn't, and they guard their attention like a precious resource, ensuring it's invested in what moves them forward. Intentional focus requires clarity, knowing your goals and values so you can say no to distractions. Resilient people simplify their efforts, prioritizing the few things that align with their vision. They don't try to do everything. They commit to one task, one goal, one step at a time. This discipline creates momentum, turning small wins into lasting progress. For example, a writer working on a novel doesn't check social media every hour. They set aside focused blocks of time to write, producing pages while others get lost in notifications. Distraction is the enemy of progress. It wears many disguises: urgent emails, tempting opportunities, mindless scrolling. But it always costs the same: your peace, your progress, your power. Resilient people are ruthless about eliminating it. They turn off notifications, declutter their environment, and set boundaries to protect their focus. They understand that every ounce of attention given to distractions is energy stolen from their goals. To cultivate focus, start by defining your top priority each day. Write it down. Today, my focus is finishing this report. Dedicate uninterrupted time to it, using tools like a timer to stay on track. Eliminate distractions. Silence your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and create a workspace that supports concentration. Practice presence, bringing your full attention to the moment. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back, treating it like a mental rep in the gym. Focus is also about saying no to good things, to say yes to great ones. Resilient people don't chase every opportunity. They evaluate each one against their goals. If it doesn't align, they let it go, trusting that their focus will yield bigger rewards. This discipline creates clarity and confidence, allowing them to move through chaos without losing direction. When life throws curveballs, they bring their attention back to what matters, take the next step, and keep building. Over time, intentional focus becomes a habit. You start to crave the clarity of a locked-in state where distractions lose their pull. This focused energy is powerful. It generates results, builds confidence, and reinforces your resilience. By protecting your attention, you protect your progress, ensuring that your efforts create the impact you're aiming for. Step 7. Commit to continuous growth. Resilience is not a destination. It's a lifelong journey of growth. Resilient people don't aim for a single breakthrough or a temporary fix. They commit to evolving every day, in every season. They see every challenge, success, or failure as an opportunity to learn, refine, and level up. This mindset keeps them adaptable, ensuring they're always prepared for whatever comes next. Continuous growth requires humility, the willingness to admit you don't know everything, and the courage to keep learning. Resilient people seek feedback, study their mistakes, and draw concurrent wisdom from mentors, books, and experiences. They're not afraid to start over or adjust their approach because they know that falling isn't failure. Staying down is each setback refines them, making them sharper and more capable. For example, a leader who receives critical feedback doesn't get defensive. They listen, reflect, and use the input to improve their skills, becoming a more effective guide for their team. Growth isn't always visible or glamorous. Sometimes, it's in the quiet moments. The realization that you need to apologize, the courage to have a tough conversation, the discipline to stick to a new habit. These internal wins compound over time, transforming you into someone stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Resilient people value these shifts as much as external achievements, knowing that a strong inner foundation is what sustains long-term success. To embrace growth, make learning a daily habit. Set aside time to read, reflect, or seek out challenges that stretch you. Ask yourself, what can I improve today? And act on the answer, whether it's refining a skill, addressing a weakness, or seeking advice from someone more experienced. Surround yourself with people who inspire growth, not complacency, and be open to correction. Feedback, even when it stings, is a gift that sharpens your edge. Growth also means embracing the tension of progress. Resilient people live in the balance of I'm proud of how far I've come and I'm not done yet. This isn't pressure, it's purpose. It's the hunger to keep evolving, not out of inadequacy, but out of vision. They know that the world is always changing, and if they're not growing, they're falling behind. By committing to continuous improvement, they stay sharp, adaptable, and ready for any challenge. This commitment to growth is what makes resilience sustainable. It's not about surviving one storm. It's about building a mindset that thrives through every season. Each lesson learned, each skill honed, each perspective shifted adds another layer of strength, ensuring you're not just recovering from setbacks, but rising above them. Growth is your edge, your legacy, your proof that no matter what comes, you'll keep evolving into the best version of yourself. Conclusion. Lessons learned. Building. A resilient mindset is a choice, a daily decision to rise above circumstances and shape your own path. The 7 steps outlined here offer a roadmap for transforming adversity into strength, but they require commitment and practice. Here are the key lessons to carry forward. Own your life. Take full responsibility for your path, focusing on what you can control to reclaim your power. Stop blaming others and start acting on what's in your hands. Reframe challenges. See adversity as a teacher, not a threat. Extract lessons from every hardship to turn pain into progress. Regulate emotions. Create space between feeling and action to respond with wisdom, not impulse. Stay calm under pressure to protect your goals. Embrace discomfort. Lean into tension to expand your capacity for growth and pressure. Discomfort is where you become stronger. Strengthen self-talk. Speak to yourself with clarity and strength, aligning your thoughts with your potential. Be your own coach in the dark moments. Focus intentionally. Guard your attention, prioritizing what moves you toward your goals. Eliminate distractions to build unstoppable momentum. Grow continuously. Commit to lifelong learning, using every experience to evolve and improve. Never stop leveling up. Resilience isn't about avoiding life's storms. It's about becoming someone who can walk through them with purpose and poise. The 2% who thrive don't do so by chance. They've built their strength through deliberate choices day after day. They've taken ownership of their lives, reframed their challenges, and committed to growth, no matter the cost. Now it's your turn. Will you choose to own your path, lean into discomfort, and keep evolving no matter what? The resilient mindset you build today will carry you through every tomorrow, turning dreams into reality and struggles into triumphs. The question isn't whether life will test you, it's whether you'll rise to meet it. Choose to rise.